When you get an autism diagnosis, sit with it. You may have anxiety, you may have great fear, you may have anger. That's okay. Just sit with it.
It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to say, why my kid? But it's your kid.
If you need the cry, cry. If you need the screaming, screaming. It's a process. It's a process that you need to live and you need the accepting.
Use that, whatever emotion you have, to drive you to make plans, to manage, to get your child the best life possible.
Everybody's different, and disabilities and normal, if you want to call it normal, everybody has their unique abilities and their differences. So to treat them like people and understand that maybe their level of communication is not exactly like yours, but they can hear you and understand you.
People with autism perceive the world differently. They perceive people differently. They don't interpret emotions the same. Understand that there's nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. Your child has done nothing wrong. You've been handed a hard deal. But you can play the cards. That's the good news.
It is very hard, because you're pregnant, all right? You go along with the pregnancy, nothing's showing up, everything's looking great, you have the baby. With autism, you can't see that when they're first born. You can't. I didn't notice Aubrey until 2.5, that something wasn't quite right. And then, as the year or two went, more, became the diagnosis, and it's devastating.
It's hard. I know it's hard. I see my kids don't talk to me until 6 years old. I never hear my son say me, I love you, mommy, until he's 7 years old. And I'm thankful for that.
I think parents have to be prepared in two ways primarily, is emotionally, to prepare themselves for the journey ahead, and also logistically. There's just going to be a lot to do. Your child could have different levels in the autism spectrum disorder. They may require substantial support, which is a level 3. In that case, perhaps they're not communicating, they're nonverbal. They may need speech therapy. That's a logistical thing to talk about with your primary care provider. They may need occupational therapy because of sensory issues. They may need physical therapy because of low tone in their muscles. Also being prepared for being an advocate for them for school, or even hiring an advocate if you feel like you need it. Child will probably need an IEP, an individual education plan, and will need accommodations for school. Whether or not they're in special classes really depends on how they function. And if they do need a high-level support, that's still not a negative thing. There are many, many changes that kids make developmentally over the years.
If you're working hard, if you stay with them, if you help them and receive the help that they need, the professionals, all these big the services that you have, you can see a big change in the life of your kids and big change in your life.
So in thinking about the journey that an individual with an autism spectrum disorder will be on, it's going to differ. But there are going to be a number of people who have what is commonly known as social communication difficulties with autism spectrum disorder. And in that case, they're going to need some more support. Get the support you need. Seek out your own therapy, counseling, join support groups, talk to other parents. That's essential.
I say never stop. You are the reason for your kid is growing and growing, and you are the reason for why your kid is what he is. And you working with him, you crying, you live your process, but never give up.